What's up, everyone? This is Sean Rampersaud here with the LendWrap Mortgage team at TMG, the Mortgage Group, coming to you with another kick-ass real estate video. This one is less to do about mortgages like most of my other videos are about, and more to do about you selling your house, okay? So this is a question that a lot of people have and a lot of people attempt to do on their own. So the question is it worth it for me to get a real estate agent to sell my house? Okay, so there's some definite pros and cons both ways, and I'm going to be bringing you a very non-biased opinion about this. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm a mortgage broker here for any and all of your mortgage needs, but the question is, do I need a real estate agent if I'm going to be selling my house? So let's start off with some of the pros of dealing with a real estate agent. So number one, and this is huge, you are covered by that realtor's insurance. So most real estate agents will have millions of dollars in insurance. Okay, this is a mandatory thing that all licensed real estate agents have to have, is insurance. Okay, so if anything goes wrong with the transaction for any reason when you're selling your property, you are not liable for the cost. So as an example, we've had customers over the years that purchased or were selling property, and somebody was purchasing it on the other end. They didn't have a real property report, but they did say that the fence complied and the driveway and that type of thing. Later, the buyers find out that the fence doesn't comply. The house doesn't even comply exactly where it's supposed to be. So now the house is in the wrong place. It could be a shed, it could be many things. And the cost to remediate these problems are in the thousands, okay? So if you have insurance, your realtor's insurance will cover a lot of this kind of thing. Number two, a good realtor will negotiate a better price for you on the house, okay? This is a fact. This is what these people do for a living. I don't negotiate all day, every day. You don't negotiate all day, every day. Probably not. But your real estate agent does, okay? This is what they do for a living, and they will be able to get you more money for that property almost every single time, okay? And trust me, I've tried to fight this myself. I've tried listing for sale by owner, trying to save myself a buck or two, and in the end, it ended up costing me more. So going forward, I always list with a real estate agent. Okay, number three, a good realtor will be able to get you discounts on certain things. So one thing we know, when you sell a property and when you buy one, you're gonna need a lawyer, okay? A good realtor will have a connection with a lawyer. A good realtor will have connections with appraisers. They'll have connections with inspectors, that type of thing, where they may be able to get you a discount on. So you potentially could save thousands of dollars by dealing with a good real estate agent. If you do need a referral for somebody that's good, please call me anytime. I know tons and tons of realtors. I know good ones. I know bad ones. Let me refer you to somebody that's good, that's going to be treating you very professionally. All right, number four, they will recommend things that add value to your property. Okay, so recently I sold a house myself. I got feedback on the property that the kitchen needed to get repainted, and that the carpet was in bad condition. I never thought the carpet was in that bad condition. I lived in the property for 10 years, but the real estate agent said it was. He then called a carpet company, got me quotes on what it would cost. It was $3,600 to replace the carpet. I replaced it. The house went pending within a week of me doing this, okay? So a realtor will be able to recommend things to you, and you can't get hurt by it. If the realtor tells you your toilets are dirty, clean the toilets, okay? This is gonna make the difference between you selling the property or potentially not selling the property. When we list properties on our own and try to sell it on our own, it's a very emotional thing, and you don't have somebody there telling you this needs to be done or it's probably not gonna sell, okay? A good realtor will come out very blunt and frank with you and tell you, okay, this needs to be done and your property's gonna sell, okay? They have connections with investors that may buy your property, okay? So a good real estate agent will have tons of connections. They're going to have connections with people that have their pulse on the market. And that's what I call a good realtor, is somebody that has their pulse on the market. They may know investors who already want to purchase your house. So take that into consideration. I'm sure you don't know any investors, or you know very few investors. You want as many eyes on your property that you possibly can get, okay? Connections with other agents and mortgage brokers, okay? So other agents oftentimes will have clients that may be able to buy your properties. Now, realtors have all these groups on Facebook and Instagram and here and there where they're a part of large communities of real estate agents. Those realtors all have the customers, okay? And when they share your information in those groups, you may have the buyer right then and there that loves your property and will pay top dollar for the property. So take that into consideration when you're choosing either to do it yourself or do it through a real estate agent. Next is connections with mortgage brokers, okay? So like I said, I know a lot of real estate agents myself, being a mortgage broker. I have hundreds and hundreds of pre-approved people in my database that are just waiting for the right property. This is huge. So if they have connections with mortgage brokers, especially mortgage brokers doing high volume like myself, there's a good chance that we may have a buyer for you right in our database already, okay? Correct paperwork. That's the next thing on the list, okay? If you try to fill out the paperwork yourself, it's going to be very frustrating, okay? A good real estate agent is going to have correct paperwork. If you screw up on an offer to purchase when you're filling it out yourself, it could be very costly to you. Get a real estate agent to do it, or get a lawyer to look over it. One of those two things. They'll suggest price changes as the market changes in real time. Every week, there's either more or less properties listed on the MLS, okay? A good real estate agent is going to tell you what your property is worth this week, not last week. Last week is irrelevant. This week. And they may forecast what's coming, what's going to be happening in the future. So selling a house is partially about timing, and if the timing is right, you get top dollar. If you have a realtor that has their pulse on the market, they're going to know the correct timing to do price reductions or price increases, whatever it might be. But that's a good recommendation for you. More advertising. Doesn't matter how much you do yourself, you can't do everything. You're not doing this for a living. A realtor will just simply do more advertising. It'll be advertised on their brokerage website. It'll be advertised on, for example, the Remax website or Century 21 or Maxwell or whatever brokerage EXP that they're dealing with. It'll be advertised on those websites. The brokerage websites get high traffic, and because they're getting this high traffic, they're getting a high volume amount of people that are going to be looking at your property through that. It's not just the MLS, but they'll also have you advertised on the MLS. They'll have you advertised on Facebook, Instagram, all sorts of groups, that type of thing. So a good realtor will just have you splattered everywhere you're listing so that you get maximum exposure. The more exposure you get, the better chance of that one person loving everything about your property and falling in love with it. So there's a good point for you right there. They take all the annoying calls from tire kickers. So all this advertising is going to generate a lot of activity. You're going to have people calling you, and some of them may be tire kickers. Some of them may not be serious about buying a property. So that's going to sift out a lot of that crap, and you're not going to want to take those calls anyway because they're bullshit. So if you don't want to waste your time, get a real estate agent. It makes a big difference. Now let's talk about what happens when you do it yourself. So when you try to sell a property yourself, you're gonna get less exposure. Okay, no matter what, you will get less exposure. A realtor will have your stuff splattered everywhere, so you're gonna get less showings. Number two, you may not get the highest price for the property because you're getting less showings. Okay, so Now you get an offer that comes in and you really want to make that offer work. Your negotiating power has gone down because you're not getting the amount of traffic and the amount of offers you could potentially be getting on the property. Number three, you'll get a lot of annoying calls. Okay, I have two kids. I'm married. I don't like to spend my time on the weekends answering calls from people that are not serious about buying. When you list yourself, you'll get a lot of those calls, no matter what. Okay, you'll also get calls from real estate agents that are going to be annoying to you, and maybe potentially other people. So the realtors they sift that stuff out. Okay. If you make mistakes on the paperwork, it can cost you a lot of money. Okay, so that's, again, I said it in the beginning, that's one of the big benefits of dealing with a real estate agent is they do the paperwork for you and they make sure there's going to be no screw ups. Okay, you're not covered under someone's insurance, so please, if you're selling your property yourself, let your lawyer review all of the documentation. Get your property measured professionally. Get professional pictures done of your property. All of these things will help you avoid getting sued in the future. And also, please disclose everything. Okay? If there's a crack in the foundation, disclose it. Especially if you're not getting a real estate agent that's going to be doing that kind of thing for you. If you think there's anything I missed, please do me a favor and put that in the comments below. If you have listed your home with a realtor, please type listed in the comment below. And if you sold by owner in the past or ever, please write FSBO, FSBO in the comments below. It helps me to kind of track and know what people are doing out there, and it makes a big difference in my business. I really hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. And any questions you have, put it in the comments below, and give me a call. My number is 780-278-4847. I'm happy to help anytime. Thanks for watching.